I'm into real estate, really valuable real estate. And the kind of real estate that I'm into is the real estate of the mind. And what I call the real estate of the mind is the space in my consciousness that I allow, that I accept, and that I focus on. And that's the most important and the most powerful real estate that exists, is the real estate of your thoughts. And because we can only focus on one thing at a time, really focus, it's important to be selective with what it is that you focus on. And I'll give you some examples of how I protect and defend and nourish and feed the real estate of my mind. Right now I'm driving, and when I'm driving around, I don't listen to the radio. I almost never listen to the radio, because the radio is programming. Programming, what does that mean? We know what it means when we program a computer, but what does it mean when we say radio programming? Or another example is, I don't watch television except for on a very selective basis of a specific show that I'm interested in. Television programming. That's really what it is. Words are power. So it's a television programming. What is it programming? Well, it's programming you how to think. And if somebody else is writing the program, that means you have no say in the program. And the program is what runs the hardware, which is the results of the programming of the software. So your life and the experience of it is directly related to the programs that you are running in your subconscious and your conscious mind. So what I do when I drive is I either stay in silence and focus on things that are important to me or challenges that I want to solve, or I'll put on specific books on tapes. I'll go to my local library and I'll see what's there, what's interesting, and I never go in with a particular subject. I just look and see what seems interesting. A lot of times I'm going to gravitate towards history, towards language, towards arts, sometimes just stories. And so right now I'm listening to some things by Sam Harris, listening to some Napoleon Hill. I'm listening to There Is a God by Anthony Flew. Sometimes I'll listen to the history of Italian culture, or the history of the English language, or you name it. Whatever is available at the library, I'll listen to those. And so I'm being selective with what information, what programming is going into my real estate of my mind. And in that way, I shape my own existence. And this is very powerful because, unlike the way that we would normally perceive life, things do not happen to us as if we are a leaf blowing in the wind without any foundation. Rather, your conscious mind and your thoughts are like a powerful movie projector, and the sensory world that we're experiencing is like a blank screen. So our dominant thoughts, in other words, the things that we're most often thinking about, and especially the things we're thinking about with a lot of emotion behind it, strong emotion, whether it's love, joy, anger, those get supercharged, and the particles, like attracts like, the particles of those dominant thoughts congregate. And when enough of them are congregated and they're moving rapidly enough, it essentially manifests manifests into a material form. And so even what we call solid objects are actually rapidly vibrating subparticle matter. And so we may experience something as solid. That's our perception of it. It's not truly solid. It's just a dense vibration of energy of like particles. And this applies to everything. So what we're experiencing is exactly the result of dominant thinking that brings us to that point, that moment in time, like right now. And so this is the power of the real estate of the mind, is you align your consciousness with the experience of life that you desire for yourself. And if you're listening to a lot of popular music, or you're listening to talk radio, political talk, you're taking on all the emotions and all the thought processes that is being programmed into you. It's being fed into you. Like, oh, there's so much to fear. Oh, these shithole countries. Oh, they're rapists and drug dealers, and they're trying to kill us and they hate us. This is all fear-based thinking. So if you buy into this and you accept it, you're absorbing that. And so what happens is you become fearful, and you become full of hate, and you become ethnocentric and these type of things. It's not progressive. It's actually regressive. So rather, you replace that negative dialogue in your mental real estate with positive dialogue, things that are going to help you to grow, things that are going to help you to learn, things that are going to educate you about interests, subject matters that you're interested in learning more about, or particular skills. So this is the real estate of the mind. Protect it, because it's the most valuable real estate that you have.